are live. And welcome to the most important show on the planet, the Today in Millenia podcast. I'm your host, Frank Nitty. Welcome to the show. And I'm joined, of course, it's not big yet. We'll get to it. Like I said, still working on it. Miss Maheen Savani coming live from the villa. Live from the villa. How are you, Maheen?
I'm wonderful, guys. It's a whole other feeling of guilt when you haven't eaten or drank anything during the day for a month, and then you're allowed to drink things during the day.
Dude, did I not tell you that in the beginning?
I go to eat in the day.
Did I not tell you that forget food? When you don't eat or drink, forget food. You'll forget all about it. Like, it's crazy. You'd rather drink something.
I don't care so much about food. It's the drink.
Yep. Yeah. I remember I used to starve myself for wrestling, and all I wanted was the yellow Gatorade I didn't want to eat anything. I hadn't eaten for 3 days, and I didn't want to eat. All I wanted to do was have Gatorade. Because it's like, they always say, like, you can go 30 days without eating, you die in 7 with no water. Like, and it's so true. Like, once you're deprived of both, the food is gone. Who cares about food? Yeah. It's just, I need some liquid. So, Maheen's going through that, but she's got Snapple, so I guess that it's over, right? It ended last weekend, right?
It's over.
It's over.
Eat on Sunday, so...
Is it a nice little diet for you guys? Like, do you guys lose weight?
You're breaking up so bad.
Do you guys lose weight when you do this?
I didn't lose weight. I never lose weight.
Well, you look wonderful today.
And I eat like 3 dinners.
Oh, so it's just like you just swap the 12 hours of the day, basically. Still eating through it. Especially during Corona, it's probably the best one because you could sleep through the day. Like, the worst was probably working and not eating. Now you're just like chilling at the house all day. I don't eat sometimes at all. I went to meet my friend at the golf course the other day. Hashtag 1UP. Got you, Manny. And I didn't eat. And I realized, I'm like, it's 4 o'clock. That means 8 o'clock by the time I eat. So I told him early, I'm like, if I just pass out, just get him to bring a hot dog or something. I don't know. I haven't eaten all day. But I shot a 106. It was dog shit, and I'm going to blame it on the hunger, but I didn't pass out. That's all I got. That's my one.
I feel a little weird that you haven't introduced them.
I know. We'll do a basic one so we can get them in quick. Hailing all the way from Honduras via, you're in Brentwood now, right? Brentwood, New York, Alexio, the Hammer, Rivera. Welcome, sir.
Anybody I know who listens to this always asks, so why do they call you the Hammer? I always think it's my big cock.
Big cock, dog. That's always been the joke. What other joke would it have been? But... And Fast Hands just sounds good. I used to call my friend, I started doing that. My friend had a great name. His name was Junior Salazar. And he said, the Junior. And so I'd do it, and I would call him Fast Hands. I'd be like, Junior Fast Hands Salazar. I'd call him to him like this. Yeah, that's a perfect name to box.
He's going to come up to him like this.
I used to go up to him boxing, saying that all the time. Every time I see him. Or if he we played like basketball or something with the team, that was like always his like announcement if he hit one. So that's where I got that able to say that way. And Manny wrote, I think, that Bruce Buffer, new news, Bruce Buffer sued Michael Buffer for the use of that. Oh, Michael Buffer sued Bruce Buffer for the use of that saying ready to rumble. That's why they don't say it in the UFC.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about they say, like, get ready to fight or whatever he says, and that's why. Because he owns the trademark for let's get ready to rumble. So you can't say it. And I heard at one point it was $1 million, Beeny, to say that. $1 million.
I heard that at one point.
Let's get ready to rumble. Done. $1 million.
$1 million.
Can you imagine that? We didn't fill her in before the show, so really quick, because we got there's a lot of news. We even developed a new speed round. Did you tell me?
No.
We have a brand new speed round because there's just so many, in my opinion, topics that we're going to spend some time, obviously, on the most important one and then just speed through the rest of them. And so before we get started, though, our theory was that people who were born like before 1980,
generation before
the
us,
generation before us, whoever that is, they stopped listening to music in the late 80s and they just gave up. Like, because I was doing the math, my mom was like 25 when she had me in 92. So in 98 when Eminem dropped probably the greatest rap album of all time, the Marshall Mathers LP, it was sick. And that's like, I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the, like, all those songs. Yeah. She was, 6 years, she was 31 years old. So at your guys' age, if the hottest new rap album that goes down in history is like one of the best of all time came out, would you say that shit sucks? Get that out of my face? Rap crap? Would you even think to do that?
I would listen to it.
If you didn't like it, that's one thing, but would you not listen to it? Hell no, right? Like, I listen to...
I don't know.
You listen to Little Nas X, don't you? If he comes on the
I
radio.
don't know. Like, I probably wouldn't listen to it. Like, unless it's someone that I actually.
Oh,
Like,
get it.
if I turn on the radio nowadays, it's all like the same, like sounds coming out of their mouths. Like, it's just like I can't listen to this.
Beeny, we're over here mind blown. You're fucking doing it too. It's not generational. It's everyone's gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hate
so.
music in a few years. This
I was
sucks.
listening to Blink-182 radio on my Pandora.
Oh,
because that's
no.
what I listen to for music, and that's what I'm happy listening to.
I run through the new shit. Like right now on my YouTube, I've listened to that Sunday Best song. That always gets me excited. Of course, Dua Lipa makes her stops. And then
Yeah.
I do the new rap songs. I like Nas X. I like, Blueface. I like these idiots. I think they're pretty good. I don't think they're good, but I think that they make music that's listen toable, I guess. And like I don't like Tekashi 6ix9ine just because I don't really like that chanting shit. But it doesn't mean that he's awful. But it was so funny because I asked my stepdad, and you just blew our mind because we thought all young people didn't think that way. But obviously, there's got to be more of me. Beeny right away does. We didn't really run this theory by young people. We just assumed. I ran it by a lot of oldies though, and my stepdad was the only one who told the truth. My mom claims she liked Eminem. I'm like, that's a backtrack and a half. But because when I bought the album, you told me it was dog shit. The Eminem show came out 3 years later, and I bought that, and you told me it was shit, and turn that off, and you can't get the explicit one. So don't lie to me, mama. But anyway, my mom's husband, he goes immediately, I'm like, you guys stopped listening to music in the 80s. He looks at me, he goes, yeah, that sounds about right. Late 80s.
That's weird.
Straight up, just as honest as could be. He's like, I didn't listen to anyone who made a song after 1988. I didn't care.
That's funny.
He's stuck with like the Rush, Journey, like those
I
like
guess to a
bands.
certain point, but you listen to Dua Lipa, right?
Yeah, I like Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
that is a
you know,
young
like,
person's
you know.
musician. So honestly, that defeats the purpose. No,
Yeah.
like your parents wouldn't have listened to Billie Eilish. That's like weird.
Yeah.
She's weird. She's trendy. She's like that's the shit that they were like. That's crap. You know, when it changed from like hardcore rock to like. Remember, they didn't even listen to grunge music. Like my mom doesn't even like really Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all those '90s bands that
My
much.
parents didn't even listen to English music when I.
Yeah, so it's different for you. But I'm talking about when you talk to people that you just know that are in their 40s. You know, like. They all like classic rock, you know, like that's what they stick to that bullshit.
If your parents are on a road trip, what are they listening to?
They ain't putting on Eminem's show. They ain't putting on that.
Do you know Nuestros Pateles?
No, yeah.
Oh
so you
yeah, I
can't-
do know them.
Oh, you know. He's such an asshole.
They're the ones that go like.
I'm a world-renowned singer. Okay, that was a valid question.
They're the ones that go like this.
Do you
No,
listen
no,
to?
no,
Do you
like,
listen to the?
we're,
What's
like,
the?
sitting
What's the
and,
guy?
like,
What's the? What's the?
Vocals.
Yo, Alexia,
I'll
what's this
put you
guy?
onto it, don't worry.
What's this guy? Yeah, the most famous. This guy. Do you listen to him? The guy that plays the flute really good. Oh come
I
on.
don't know what you're talking about.
Give me the name of the guy who plays the flute really good. Search that really quick. Google it. Google that. The guy who plays the flute really good. And while we're going here, we'll get started. While he's doing that, I'll take over his job since he's doing every job now because we only got one computer. So, we're gonna get started with, in my opinion, all jokes aside, glad we started it light, but this is pretty crazy. We're not gonna play the video. If you haven't seen it, I don't know, open your eyes, take off your mask. It's not supposed to cover your eyes. Just pull it down a little bit over your mouth, and then you'll probably see this video because it's everywhere. It's disgusting. Man had his neck kneeled on for what looked like almost 10 minutes. He was begging for his life for a little while. Then he stopped. The sickest part to me was that they checked his pulse, found nothing, but never removed the knee from his neck. That weirded me out. Even me, if I hate you, once you're dead, you're dead. I'm not going to eat you. So, I mean, You're dead. I'm going to get off. I'll figure out how to dispose of you or whatever cops do with bodies these days. I guess they put them in the morgue because it's legal. But, yeah, I would probably stop murdering someone after I murdered them, even at my most angry. And so it just weirds me out that anyone could be that sick. So I'll just start since I started here. My opinion on it, we were talking a lot about it, me and Alexio. I get really nervous at just it almost being unfixable just because of how many issues. It's overwhelming to think about all the things that need to be fixed. If you want to take the, and it's so racial right now, but it's not really. If you want to take the one, I'm just going to call it one side and the other, and you should be able to figure it out. If you want to take the one side of it, we have to fix, systemic poverty issues in certain areas. We were talking about this, cities, blah, blah, blah. So that's like the side it's not the cops' fault. If you want to take the other side of it, the side I really lean more towards, we got to be smarter about the kind of people that we allow. That guy was kneeling on him like he was king of the fucking playground. I already been king of the playground, and then that kid cried, and I felt really bad, and I was 8 years old, and they yelled at me, and they said, you don't put your knee on people's necks even if you can. It's not nice. And I said, okay. And you get that feeling of power over someone, and you get over it. That guy clearly was the guy with his knee on his neck his whole life, and he had this look on him like he was king of the hill, like he would put his hands up in the air, like, look what I'm doing, because he kept yelling down at him, like you're not tough anymore.
You said bully of the playground, right?
Yeah, he was the bully. Like he'd been bullied his whole life. It was pretty obvious, and he couldn't wait for a chance to be the bully, and it overwhelmed him. He probably never put his knee on someone's neck. Probably didn't even think this guy could die. Just soaking up that's what it looked like to me. Because there's no real reason. There's no real logical reason for him to put his knee on that guy's neck, other than feeling good about yourself for doing it. And that may be unpopular, and I do lean pretty right, and that's as left-wing statement, I guess, as I've ever made, but that's the truth. That cop wanted to kill that guy, and he was 100% doing it probably because the guy was black. 100%. I mean, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I couldn't get through the video because it was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously not the first case of this extreme racism or whatever, but you're right. Like, he didn't give a shit. And, like, saying that he's a bully on the playground, I think is such a beautiful, poetic way to put it. But you're right. Like, that was it. He was almost proud of what he was doing. Like, look what I just did.
And then, whoops.
Even though I could not get through the video. And, yeah, and, like, literally, like, I read almost like a transcript, I guess, of the call of, like, what people were saying, and there was onlookers and bystanders that were saying, like, dude, he's not breathing. Dude, get up. Yep. You know, like, it's just... You
couldn't even make that far. I only saw the end, so he was dead when I saw it, and then Alexio just showed me the full one where he was clearly alive and begging for his life for a minute. Like, there was so many chances to save that guy's life. It was fucking terrible, and people were yelling. I was saying, like, if I could give anybody advice, you can't... So one meme I've been seeing is 4 people, cameras, nobody jumped on the cop. I want to tell you a secret. If it's a secret, maybe it's not. You can't run at police officers, guys. Then they should shoot you. That makes sense because their job is... I know it seems like it's not right now, but their job is supposed to be to serve and protect. So if that's what they're doing, you got to let them do your job. If you rush after them, that they're protect. They have to... Because if you kill them... In reality, the reason that they're going to shoot you or incapacitate you is because the theory is if they're gone in this situation, now all hell breaks loose, right? So if you call the police over to a bad situation, you kill the police, now it's bad, right? Because nobody's there to stop it. We have to wait for more police. So they have to be on guard when people run after them. So 100%, if any of those people, and especially because they're all black, ran at that guy, he would have shot you. So you could not do that. So leave the people alone who filmed it. It's not their problem. I would have liked to see someone really tell those people, though, what was going on in their lives. Because what was going on is that man was transforming right in front of everybody from a cop to a fucking murderer. And I would have told them that. I would say, you're going to be a murderer, sir. Do you know what a murderer is? Like, you go on the news, everybody hates you, you're a piece of shit, you deserve to die. You and your little Chinese friend here are murderers. You're murderers, just so you know.
The other 2 cops
you might get away with saying something like that.
What are they gonna do? I can say whatever I want. They were saying stuff, but they were saying like they weren't like the one kid was good at it. He kept using the guy's name, and I think it got to the Asian guy. But like, just really explain to that guy, like, because that's what happened. That guy is a murderer. What I saw, like, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't really trust him too much, anyways. Yeah. But that guy is
murderer. There's no other word to describe it.
Yeah, there's no other way to do it. Some of the shootings and stuff, like, you can say, like, all right, reach. That goes back to my problem though with Big Bully on the playground is they're giving guns to people who are so fucking terrified that as soon as anything looks like a gun, they're shooting theirs off. You know,
the mayor of that city, I forgot his name already, but he gave the speech. There's never been a police shooting where the mayor flat out the next day says, hey, I need this guy to get charged and arrested. And he came out yesterday and put out a statement, did a whole press conference saying, this guy needs to be charged and arrested. I don't know what the charge should be as exactly, but he needs to be charged and arrested immediately.
Yeah.
So he called for the prosecutor to do that. But
Can't be first degree. I was gonna say.
He gave
It wasn't premeditated. You know, it wasn't like.
He gave a pretty good analogy when it came to, or example when it comes to like police shootings. He was saying that, you know, when it comes to like a police shooting, a lot of these cops are under a lot of pressure, and they have to make a split-second decision to save their own lives or save somebody else's life. You know, when it comes down to someone having a weapon or someone being very dangerous, it's a split-second decision. It's like a 3-second moment where you have to make a decision. Am I going to take this guy's life, or am I going to roll the dice in him taking someone else's life potentially? And in this situation, it's not that. This guy had more than 300 seconds to
ample opportunity,
where every single moment he could have just taken his knee off his neck.
Yeah.
There's three other cops holding.
Black and white guys get shot all the time and they deserve it. The guns out and everything. No, you just don't see those videos.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And you should be on edge as a police officer 100%. But you're so right. That was way different. This was the most different one I've ever seen. Because the one,
most blatant.
There was one where the guy was already cuffed, laying down, and a gun fell out of his pocket, and the cop shot him in the gut. Do you remember that? They were in like a garage. Yeah. That one was pretty bad too. But all the other big time ones, the other one, the guy reached. He didn't say, "I'm going for my wallet." He just reached, you know. And then he tried to say. Then the wife was yelling. Remember, the guy murdered him straight up in front of his wife and his kid. But the wife was like, "He's getting his wallet." But he didn't say that, and you need to know, like, these cops are on edge. But why is your gun out at a traffic stop? These are all the issues. Like, how is your gun already? You can't be that scared. It's okay if you're that scared. Like, if you're out there and you know cops or any cops listen to my show, it's okay if you're scared. You just got to get a new job. You're a pussy. It's okay. There's a lot of pussies out there that are good people, but you can't be a cop. Like, you can't be a cop because you have a responsibility to not be scared. Yeah. You can't run around scared and then protect people who are scared. It doesn't work that way. Like, that is ridiculous. So you need to be calm, cool, and collected. You can't just pull your gun out at every fucking cap gun you see, or else we have to get rid of cap guns. Instead, we have to just get better police officers, not get rid of cap guns. Like, this is so stupid. Now, another thing I want to say that they do in the police force is you move up by getting to better neighborhoods. And I always think that is the stupidest thing. You make more money by working in Suffolk County, in Patchogue, where you arrest white people who drink too much, and fucking any person who drinks too much, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then if you work in fucking Brentwood, you're like shit end of the stick. Like, oh, what happened? You just got hired at Suffolk? Yeah, I'm on the Brentwood beat. Like, that's not how it should be. You should be honored. Like, they don't send the doofus that needs to be put on, like, communication wires in the military to Beirut or Baghdad or whatever to fight with his gun. They know, like, this guy is an idiot and he's a sissy, but we can use him. We just can't use him on the front lines. They put the right people. I feel like with police, they do it backwards. Like, you start off a young kid who's probably, like, incapable of doing anything, and they thrust you into the worst areas ever, and then as you move up, you get out of those areas.
Did you ever hear what Andrew Yang wanted to do with cops as far as like the type of training to try to get rid of some of these issues?
What do you say? Scaredy cat training? Fucking do that.
No, he said every cop should have a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Just because if you have combat training,
you're more comfortable. Oh my God, do I agree with that?
Yeah.
I've never met a person who was blue belt or better in jiu-jitsu that would actually fight you unless you grabbed them. You know what I mean? Like,
they're usually pretty calm. They're usually the nicest.
They're gonna kill you. Like, they're gonna kill you. Like, I don't like to fight people. Like, with all the wrestling, like, guys go tackle my legs, then I look bad because they get hurt. You know, like, so it's like, no, it's okay. Especially if I can tell you don't know what you're doing. Like, this is your first shot at it. It's okay. Like, that's how I feel. A lot of people are pretty confident with themselves. They don't hurry up to throw the first punch. They're not that worried about it. And I think wrestling did that for me. Wrestling and football, and just getting beat up, like. People don't understand the value of getting punched in the face. Like, there is a lot of value in getting your shit rocked. Like, there is, because it humbles you
up.
You
understand what it is.
And you're like, wow. Like, my dad used to always tell me, if you think you're tough, there is always someone tougher.
For sure.
Always. No matter what, dude. Even the UFC, you take the champ, Francis Ngannou, somebody will beat that guy.
Wait a second. Have either of you been punched in the stomach before?
Have I been punched in the face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of times.
You?
Well, not for a woman as much. It's not that important. Because women, for the most part, don't do the same thing to other women that men do to other men. You know, the bullying.
I would die in a fight.
Yeah,
For sure
you don't need to.
For sure you would.
But a police officer, someone in that kind of role, and even a girl police officer, yeah, maybe they should punch them in the face too. So I'm not being sexist here. I just think it depends on the role you're in.
You should have that training, like every single person I've
yeah, don't
met
take all the
who
accountants
does
out back and
that.
sock them because they need one. They're fine. They're accountants.
It's a humbling experience to know someone can kick your ass.
Yeah, no, you can really do about it. Like that's it. And the jiu-jitsu guys, they understand that so well because they're getting choked out. Like,
You're getting
if
choked
the person
out, yeah.
doesn't let go when you tap, you die. Like that's how jiu-jitsu
sure.
works. Yeah, you just have to
That
trust
person,
that guy.
that person's like your.
If he decides that your little ain't enough, you die. That's it. Your life's in his
exactly.
hands. So it's a humbling experience, and I think it's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Good job, Andrew Yang. I was gonna say it's some kind of scaredy cat test that some geniuses write up, where at the end of it, like a Pavlov test, or I don't know, whatever those tests are called, where at the end of it they don't really know what they're answering, but at the end it will depict whether they're too pussy or not to be an officer. Like it'll tell you, definitely too scared.
Yeah.
But so I think we got to move on because we're gonna stay on the same topic, and I think it moves right along with it. Is good luck dealing with the next issue if your cops are that sissy in Minneapolis, because now they're burning the fucking city down. So they're burning the city down.
I'll bring some pictures.
There's a riot. Alexia's gonna bring up some pictures. We'll throw them up on the video. There's a lot of riots going on. They looted a Target. Some stupid lady tried to block the exit. Alexia told me about. Don't do that if you're out there. Don't fucking stop criminals. That's how you get killed, and you deserve it too. But it's getting crazy. So here it is. It's on fire. The city is burning, which is like shit you see in movies. Looks like The Purge. That's insane. So, I mean, somebody did give a decent point 2 seconds ago. I was fully against this. I just think this is bad. I think the greatest social rights leader in the whole entire world said you don't fight violence with violence, and you should probably do that. Like, if you're protesting, you should probably do that. Because as soon as you do shit like this, it allows half the world to be like, fuck your protest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck your protest. Now, what Ricky was saying, I get, he'd try to attack their pockets. But you're not attacking who's there? You're attacking taxpayer pockets of isn't Minneapolis a Democratic state? No? Blue, red, in the middle? I don't know. But, if blue, your taxes are high, and if it's red, guess what? It's America. Your taxes are high. Everybody's taxes are high. Everyone's fucking taxes are high. So you're paying for that. I don't know about the money excuse, kind of like, hey, if you don't care about, what he was saying is if you don't care about the people, then maybe you'll fix your shit when we destroy everything, you have to rebuild it. If you don't care, which I've heard, that's a tactic. Attack people's pockets, they'll listen. But you're not attacking the city's pockets. You're attacking the people's pockets.
Yeah, and the thing is, this obviously got way out of hand, but it wasn't everybody who was protesting who did that. Right? The majority of the people who were protesting were protesting peacefully. There's tons of videos of everybody just doing it right, and then it just became a mob, right? Because a small group of people started attacking police, and then other people took advantage and started looting, and then that just turned into fire all over the place.
Rogan always has a good quote, I don't know if it's his, but he always says, a person is smart, but people are fucking stupid. Stupid. So a person is how a protest starts. 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4. And then once people get together and one bad idea spreads, it's craziness. It's pandemonium because everybody follows, and breaking shit's fun. Looting shit's probably pretty fun too, I would assume. Hurting people's not, but that's usually a byproduct of it. I don't think anybody throwing Molotov cocktails into the building is I hope this hits some lady in the face. They're just I hope the building burns down because I'm mad at this person. So I think that's why I think it's so bad, is because, I get you're angry. I will be angry too. I am angry. I'm usually not up in arms about these things. Most of the time I think there's a reason why somebody's getting detained and shit, and I can't, but this one's bad. And for it to continue to happen after it was such big news, I feel 5 years ago, this all started with the Mike Brown stuff and the guy in Florida and everything.
I mean, forever. Right?
Forever, but with the real videos coming out. I think it's been going on forever. Pussy cops shooting people for the wrong reasons. But now the cameras are out. You'd think these people would smarten up or something. I think someone's got to be made example of. Who's got the death penalty? We need a cop to do this in some state with the death penalty, and you fucking fry him. You fry a cop for doing something like this, I bet you start something.
So,
fry him in the fucking
Wayne, did you
chair.
see the riots? Those protests? It was a fucking riot.
I saw the protests, yeah, and I mean, it's pretty insane. But I feel if you get enough people of any type in any group, you're gonna get some crazies and they're gonna start breaking shit. That's what's gonna happen when we have enough people.
100%. Yeah. People are stupid. Persons are smart, and probably each one of those
Especially
persons.
young people.
If you ask that one person, what are they doing there? They probably have a good reason. If you look at the group, what are they doing there? It looks like they're there to steal and burn shit. You know, it sucks because it takes away from the good part of the protest.
I guess Twitter's like a good example of that, or social media platforms, because one, let's say that person who's bashing what X social justice thing that's going on is straight up bashing them, crucifying them, whatever it is. That person would never, one-on-one conversation, say the things that they're saying online, face to face. They would never say that. They'd probably be the nicest person. But online, with a mob, with everybody saying things, then you
feel okay
saying
to just jump
the
in.
N-word and the F-word and the this word and everything,
And you feel like it's okay to jump in because
mob is like the lowest form of human intelligence.
I just watched the fucking Manson shit, dude. Once people are brainwashed, bro, they're fucking brainwashed. And you can be brainwashed pretty easily. Watching one of your person of the same race as you get fucking straight murdered in the street can brainwash you pretty quick, you know? And having a couple people around you who are like, this is fucked up, let's do this. It's not that hard to understand why people are doing what they're doing. I think that it's not good. I don't think it's the best thing for the situation. I don't think it's going to make things better as quickly as they want it to, but I get it. But really quick before we I guess move on, I was at Mom's again, and so Hannity's on. He's one of those Fox Newsers. You guys know who Hannity is?
Yeah.
Mean Hannity? No.
No? Fox News Hannity?
No, Sean Hannity. So he's a pretty big deal, but it was just so funny how these like old school right wingers, like how they think, and like how they try to drop like these social truth bombs on people, and they think it's just gonna change everyone's view. And so I was watching. Basically, he had a street interviewer interviewing a guy at the protest, and the guy at the protest is like, "This is ridiculous. It's happening every day now. It never stops. Yeah, we're fucking pissed. Blah blah blah." And so Sean Hannity's like, let him know this. The president said that with under what his request, the FBI and the city of police are gonna crack down on this immediately. Tell him that. What does he think now about that? And like, just like he said it so matter of factly, like this guy's thoughts on police brutality were gonna change because some one Trump tweet, and the guy was just like, dude, okay, great. He tweeted once. What about all the other times that happened? And like you could see how he doesn't understand this logic because they are just their view on social issues is so indoctrinated from when I guess they are born. When you're over 50, 60 years old, there's not much you can do. You just kind of grew up with that, and like you can even hear how he talks. He's like, can't even help but be not politically correct, so he's like talking on eggshells while he's talking. He told him he was articulate like 15 times because the kid wasn't using proper terms. He was like, yo, we just need to, you know. So he was telling him he was articulate. It's like just projecting this fucking, I'm an old racist white guy and I'm really trying hard not to be. And like, it's just so funny to hear how they think that like one tweet from Trump solves the whole fucking problem. Like, look, he cares. Like, okay, good, you should. I mean, that was cold blood murder, but what about the other ones that are on the fence? You know, you don't give a fuck about those ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I think about it. So what we're going to do is there's a bunch of news going on, so we're going to jump into a speed round here. You got one shot at it, because we each talked about that topic. We'll do it like 3-4 times. We'll bounce off each other, but we're just going to try and go through this quick. So Alexia will give the topic. He'll explain the story, give your opinion, then me and he'll go, and we'll try to get through these quick, because there's a lot of shit going on right now, and none of it's as important as what we just talked about.
Deal?
And none of it is Corona, baby!
Yeah, we haven't talked about it at all.
None of the topics are Corona, people. How fucking fired up are you? I'm fired up. The fucking world's back. You seen the fucking stock market? Oh, did you see what they called it? The Great Comeback? What did I call it? Fat Tuesday? Remember?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, CNN, CNBC's been they're trademarking the Great Comeback. It's coming. When the economy skyrockets. I think I called it 3 months ago. I called it Fat Monday or something like that. But I was right again. Welcome to the most important show on the podcast on the planet. So let's hope for that. But the stock market's way up. Nobody cares. The world's going back to normal. So we don't have any Corona news. And I'm pumped on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this speed round, we're gonna start it off with Trump versus Biden on their two racially charged comments that they're making. Just two old people not knowing what the hell they're saying. Basically,
doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, one of them doesn't know what he's doing, and the other one doesn't know what he's saying. So Trump whatever, he was taking a tour of the Ford plant facility. And he did a speech.
He's giving a business speech to Ford.
Yeah, right? Sure. And so he started off with talking about Ford, and Ford is known for being anti-Semitic, and he starts off with talking about Henry Ford and his bloodline, and he's come from a good bloodline, and it's just so cringe to like see it and see him putting so much emphasis on his bloodline when you know this guy is anti-Semitic as fuck. And then on the flip side, you got Joe Biden telling people that they're not black unless they vote for him. If they don't know who they're voting for, then they're not black. These guys are so out of fucking touch, both of them. When it comes
so my opinion on it real quick, Trump's out of touch. You're digging at the racist thing, but I get it. He's just so out of touch. Like, why are you talking about bloodlines in general? It's just weird. It's just creepy. Do I think it was like full, like he was like, fuck Jews when he was saying it? No, I don't think that. But I think it is weird. The guy's out of touch. Biden needs help. He needs psychiatric help. He doesn't understand what's going on. He truly believes that he is the black candidate, and he didn't even realize that what he was saying. He's just like, I'm the black candidate. What do you mean? If you don't like me, how could you like Trump? You're not even black then. You know, like he doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying, which is a great point as to why this guy cannot win.
Imagine 4 years of him not knowing.
Fuck this. Trump, as bad as he is, I'll take him during Corona over Biden any day of the week. Could you imagine we had Biden? Oh my God, it would be so bad. We'd never get out of our houses. The guy wouldn't even know what he's talking about. Every other day, you'd be out, you'd be in, you'd be out, you'd be in. Whatever way the wind blows, he'd be like Fauci, or whatever the fuck that idiot's name is. And fucking Falcon. So that's my opinion on it. I think they're both nuts. I love the term out of touch. That's exactly what it is. We have two out of touch old fucks. So
what do you think,
if you're a millennial out there and you're smarter than I am and have a better background, you should run for president one day.
I mean, I told you guys my opinion a while back. Or the racist old guy or the racist old guy. Like, I'm not, or the creepy old guy versus the creepy guy. It is what it is at this point, but I still would vote Biden over Trump. Just it.
The racist old guy.
You're a racist, Maheen! Cancel Maheen, take the villa! Oh my God, yo, and we just CNN the fuck out of you, Maheen, because that was the first time on this show we've ever done it soundbite style, so you just got 30-second soundbite.
Sure, yeah.
We can just cut out, I don't care how racy he is, I'll still vote for Biden, and we can put it all over the internet, and you're going to look like the worst person ever. Which, I would like to say a great example before we move on, because I did say speed. That is why we don't do that, right? That's why here we try to, if you're bored that we talked about Floyd for 35 minutes, then too bad you're bored. But at least everyone got to hear everybody out, change their opinion if it made sense, go with it, run with it if they still felt strongly about it. What we just did right there, that's what media does.
That's what media does every single day.
Every single day. You get 30 seconds to talk about it, and if you fuck up, it's all over the internet. And Maheen just fucked up. I'm just kidding. She didn't.
You didn't fuck up.
She didn't fuck up. We're just kidding. So moving on.
I didn't fuck up. I know what I said. Thank you.
But my editing doesn't know what you said.
He's just gonna edit it up. Alright, so the next one is, what is it? Oh. Central Park Karen.
Oh, I don't even know what this is, so go ahead.
I'll bring it up.
I'm fired up for
so this. Do you guys know what the Ramble is in the Central Park?
No.
No, so it's a part of Central Park where there's like a lot of birds, right?
Oh, yeah. By like the zoo thing over there?
I think so, but it's a public area.
It's called the Ramble?
Yeah. I think it's this one. So this woman has her dog loose in the Ramble in Central Park. And you're not supposed to have your dog there, but it's a little ass dog. And this guy confronts her. Hold on one second. Let me just explain it. This guy confronts her and tells her to put her dog on a leash, and then this is what happens afterwards.
It's gonna be good.
Let me just blow
You
this.
haven't seen this?
He hasn't seen it.
No, I haven't seen this.
Please don't come close to me. Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording. Please don't come close to me. Please don't come close to me. Please call the cops. Please call the cops. I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life. Please tell them whatever you like.
It's weird how she's holding the dog too.
Look at that blue dog.
Just because she doesn't want to put her on a leash because he told her.
But he's holding her. Instead of like going down, he's holding the dog up. Listen to her.
He's recording me, threatening myself
And so she gets more and more frantic even though nothing's happening. Now, I have an unpopular opinion on this. I think they're both
What?
Karens.
Yep.
I think the black man...
I don't think that's unpopular at all.
I think they're both fucking Karens.
Yeah, he was just mind his fucking business.
Mind
What are you,
your
the
fucking
Rambo
business.
police? You
First
fucking
of all,
cocksucker.
so his excuse is that he's bird watching, and the dog messes up the ramble. If everybody did it, he'd fuck up the ramble. Not everybody's doing it. The dog running place is closed, and leave her the fuck alone. What the fuck? But she got all frantic and nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he didn't record that, he'd be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He'd be fucked.
So they're both fucking Karens.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well, the word
that.
harassing is fucked up.
And also there's another thing that one thing that none of the media outlets are covering is what the dialogue was before the video. The dialogue between the two was
That's
him
true. That is true.
him going up to her and saying, "Hey, put your dog on a leash. Not supposed to be here." She goes like, "No, because the dog thing is closed and I could do whatever I want," or something like that. And he goes like, "Well, if you do whatever you want, I'll do whatever I want, and you're not gonna like it." And he starts calling her dog over, and she goes like, "Dog's not gonna come to you." So he pulls out dog treats, and he carries dog treats around for this purpose, for fucking with people that have their dogs there.
Oh,
loose.
really?
And so he starts calling. And so
That's the worst person.
So
I would
he's like,
punch you in the face.
if you try to take
gave
my dog,
in-
it's not going to be a phone call to the cops. I'm going to fight you.
Yeah, that guy for sure. He could have took his camera out or not. I would have threw it across the fucking
Yeah, I
park
would
and
have broke
whooped
his
ass.
fucking phone. I would have taken his phone from him.
Now, it also, though, does prove a great point of just the way, only thing I want to add to Lexo's opinion, I think he's spot on. They're both fucking Karens, and that guy's an idiot. Mind your fucking business. As soon as the guy said that, put your dog on a leash, I said, you can come on over here, I'll put you on a leash.
Yeah.
You're good? Alright, cool, let's keep rocking, dog. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, put my dog on a
And
leash?
it's not like a fuck ton of dogs ruining this area. The dog run is closed.
Dude, you're not a cop. I'll take my fucking dick out for all I want, and then you can call the cops, but you're not gonna tell me to put it away. What the fuck's the matter with you? Like, who are
You
you?
would get arrested for that.
Yes, you can get arrested, and she could probably get a ticket for having her dog out there. But it's not up to that guy. It's like, he's like, what the fuck? Just keep riding your bike. But the only point I want to add is the word harassment is a scary word for me, and I'm sure for that black man, and I'm sure for men and women, but mostly men all over the world. Because once you say that, what does that mean? Like,
I mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, me taking my phone out and saying and calling your dog over could definitely be considered harassment, 100%. But the way that she was acting and the amount of time she said black was the biggest problem
Yeah,
in the
she's
whole thing.
emphasizing
That this is a worser situation for her because this man is black. This man was wearing a bicycle helmet. I bet
African
you
American,
In
yeah.
black, which I thought was hilarious.
African American man, yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
She switched it to black eventually.
Be a Karen if I'm going to be politically correct.
No, at the end she dropped that. She lost it. She was black, she said. A black man! She was screaming it. They're like, fucking definitely.
Did you know about the dialogue, Maheen? That dialogue I just talked about? Because you were like, yeah.
Yeah, I did, and I knew about the dog treat. So the dog treat thing was the one thing that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and like you're right, nobody knows what happened beforehand. But my issue is the fact that she was like fake crying. This man is threatening me.
Yeah.
That was the wording that she used that bothered me.
That was the problem.
This man is threatening me. Homeboy did not say anything to threaten you, at least not on video. But that's problematic.
And then getting more and more frantic.
I fake cry on the phone to get what I want. Like,
Yeah.
I've done that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Right.
And then the worst thing is that she's being recorded while this is happening and thinks that it's still okay.
And she's still
Even
doing it.
though this guy has proof that I'm lying
Listen.
about how frantic I'm being, the cops are still gonna be on my side.
Listen, some people we know wear sweaters. White privilege is real. Some people
White
got
privilege
sweaters.
is real.
I don't own a sweater, but that's what it looks like when you.
what that meant.
That's what it looks like when you got mad sweaters, like Theo says. That's. You're right. It's so funny that I just seen it. I just seen white privilege. I would never do that. I'll probably break the spokes on your bicycle, maybe, or something funny, just so you can't ride home. You know the old fucking foot down, so things like sideways, so you're like. I would have done that, like, and then you call the cops, you know, because I just definitely harassed you. But you also fed my dog treats, and when the cop gets here and I tell him about how nervous I am with the treats you just forced down my dog's throat, I don't think he's gonna give a fuck about your bicycle. So
Yeah.
we'll see if you want to go that way. But that's how I would respond with my lack of sweaters. But clearly Karen here has more sweaters than she can count on, and she thinks that she can just start screaming and crying and whining like a little girl who's daddy's favorite. That's what she seemed like. Like when your brother doesn't actually hit you, but you want to get away with something, you know? And like my cousins, my little cousins do it all the time.
You guys know what happened?
I'm like, I just watched it. Like, I just watched it. He didn't push you.
What'd you say?
You fell.
What'd you say?
You guys know what happened to her? She got fired from her
Yeah.
job, and then the breeder that gave her her dog took the dog back as well.
Because she was manhandling it. It was fucking terrible. When you care more about just being hysterical than the dog's life, like, you don't deserve the dog anymore. So, sorry, that wasn't speedy at all, but because I didn't see it, so it was hard to do that one.
It was funny.
That was really funny.
And then Jimmy Fallon, I don't think we need to watch the video. I think we'll be taken down if we do because it's SNL. But
Yeah.
he did a great impression of Chris Rock 20 years ago, full blackface, which was a hilarious skit. And now the powers that be, the social justice warriors of the world, are fucking mad at him for doing this 20 years ago when he was like, what? How old was he 20 years ago?
20?
Fucking 20?
20 something?
Yeah. And
Definitely
now
in his 20s.
they're
He
trying
might
to
be
cancel
50
his
now.
show. They're trying to cancel his life. My opinion on this is leave the fucking guy alone. That shit was a hilarious skit. I don't see any black people mad about this at all. I don't think it's blackface. Like, yeah, he painted his face black and did the whole thing. My opinion is on blackface is that if you are an actor playing a black person like in a movie, or like you're trying to make fun of black people in a racist way, then that's blackface. But if you're it's just a comedy skit. Like, the reason why that's funny is because it's Jimmy Fallon playing Chris Rock in a great fucking way. That's why it's funny.
It's why Robert Downey Jr. got away with it. There was nothing racist about what he was
Yeah,
doing. He was
nothing
playing
racist.
a douchebag actor
Exactly.
pretending to be black, like a black actor, and he did a great job at doing it.
Great
Like the
job.
fact that he stayed in character and stuff, he wasn't making fun. Now, blackface actually initially started as a way to like get because people liked how they sung on the farms, and black people were so not allowed to do anything that instead of being like,
Yeah, they
hey,
weren't
why
allowed
don't you
to
guys
be
start a
movies,
band
yeah.
so we can hear your awesome music, they painted their faces black and sung that way. Like they were like almost copying them. And that's how it started. But people obviously took it into what's that word, minstrel shows, where it kind of got bad, and then they would paint themselves black and depict bad things about black people. So it got out of hand, and then they shut it down. Now, I don't care. It is blackface. It isn't blackface. Who gives a fuck? First of all, who are we condemning? A 25-year-old kid trying to make his way in Hollywood who will say yes to anything? Or the guy who painted his fucking face and told him to do this skit? Like, at least if you want to be a SJ Dub, be a fucking intelligent one. Use your fucking brain, a little bit of logic, and go after the right people. Jimmy Fallon? What the fuck? You would have painted your face fucking dark purple and said you were a fucking eggplant if they told you to, you asshole. But you won't. But Jimmy Fallon's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And how many of these people are up and coming actors, actresses, waiting tables in
for
LA,
sure, yeah.
going nuts about it? That as soon as someone told them to to take their fucking eyes back and to pretend to be a geisha smut on some porn fucking show, they take that part in 2 seconds, and then now they got the balls to say that this guy is an asshole. No, whoever wrote the skit should have thought it out a little bit more. If Chris Rock didn't give a fuck, then no one's allowed to give a fuck, and that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're not doing blackface, you're impersonating a man.
At all. It's Jimmy Fallon.
What was that?
Like, I don't think it's a deal. Like, Jimmy Fallon was 20 years ago, and it's not like you out.
Oh,
Like,
we're losing you. What happened? Hold on.
Hold on.
You're
Hold on. We can't hear you.
break
She
the
can't hear us.
industry.
Hold on, wait. Say that one more
Everything
time.
you just said went.
Every other word we heard.
I don't know what I said. I just talk from the heart.
It happens
No,
sometimes.
this-
No, you were saying that Jimmy Fallon's like the only one not at fault.
Jimmy Fallon, right? Like, he didn't do it to be evil. He just did it because like you said, someone told him to do it. And if I'm trying to break into the industry, I'm gonna do what I'm told to do because that's what I gotta do. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. He wouldn't have a show right now. He wouldn't have a nighttime whatever show in a prime spot on a prime
Fans.
channel on the Prime Network if he didn't do all of the shit that he did to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And I mean, if anything, it's not blackface technically though because he's impersonating a single human being. It's blackface when you put the thing on and you just pretend to be a black. You know, he's like impersonating the person. So like if you were impersonating a Spanish guy with a mustache that wears a sombrero, you would put a mustache on and wear a sombrero. I don't know if that makes it racist. So it was one specific guy. So I say we blame that Uncle Tom ass Chris Rock. He should have been mad at it the first time, and that's who's
The
fault
first
it was.
time around.
Yeah. He should that was wrong, and then boom, now
Yeah,
there's
there's TV executives, producers, editors. Anybody could have been like, "Oh, this is bad."
Yeah, Fallon definitely wasn't. He'll take anything.
Yeah.
Especially if he gets to impersonate probably a hero. His stand-up comedy, he's in stand-up comedy, gets to impersonate Chris Rock, knows he does a good voice, and they told him to paint his face black, and he said, sure, whatever.
He did a good job. You saw it, Game?
I didn't watch it. I'm happy we're talking about it because I kept seeing it, and I didn't watch it because I wasn't like, oh my god, outrage, let's rag.
Oh yeah, they're digging.
Like whatever, Jimmy, whatever his name is.
They're digging for a story on that
It
one.
just is what it is.
Yeah, and what is it like? It has to be like people in their teens and super early 20s to be mad about this, right? Because they're just discovering it now, I guess.
Yeah, we were
They're
talking
just
about that.
seeing
Have you
it.
ever seen the BuzzFeed video where the kids are up in arms about Seinfeld, Maheen?
No.
Well, a lot of the things they were upset about was the joke was that Jerry was a misogynist, or the joke was that Jerry was full of himself, and they don't get it. So they're like watching it and they're like, oh my god, it's disgusting. Who talks to women like that? Are you kidding me? This was on TV. See, and they're trying to tell him, like, no, that's the joke. Like, nobody thinks you should talk to women like that. That's why we're all watching the show thinking, look at stupid fucking Jerry. Thinks he's the man, but he's actually a misogynist piece of shit. That's the joke. Like, Jerry was a narcissist. That show, they were all narcissists. That's the show. They're all so full of themselves and so useless at the same time. That's the show. If you can't see that, you can't comment on it, you know? And it's kind of the same thing with this scenario here. It's like if you can't see the joke, if you don't understand it, you really have no basis to comment on it. Like, if you're not understanding what you're looking at. So I just think that these kids, they get mad at anything. And they take it literal if they have to, or they don't take it literal. You know, it's whatever they can do to get mad at it rather than just looking at it open-mindedly and then getting mad when it's necessary. Like, that's what the world's come to. And really quick, it's not even on, I don't see it, but he won't care. But we were going to say, if you listen to Joe Rogan, you got to go to Spotify. He just signed a $100 million deal. 100 milli, Beeny.
That's
one day.
speculation too. Some people are saying it's more.
He's like 3,000 episodes in, so we got a ways to go. But 100 milli, if that's in the cards, we'll fucking run this thing with no followers till we get to 600. I don't give a fuck. If 100 milli's there, I'll show up here once a week for sure. That's like a gamble. Fucking 100 milli, though.
Yeah.
Like, that is a lot of money.
100 million, we're doing this every day.
We'll do this shit fucking every day till we die. No matter if anybody ever listens, because if 100 milli's in the cards, we'll take the risk. But no, I mean, 100 million, that's a lot of money. And Joe Rogan deserves it. 100%. That guy deserves to be rich because he doesn't, you can tell he doesn't want to be. But he does so much work. Like, that guy is working, bro.
Yeah.
We do this fucking podcast. Like, I get he's got producers and stuff. He does it 4 days a week. He's got 5 kids or 4 kids or something. He does the Comedy Store thing that he goes to all the time. He's on
the road, yeah.
So on the road doing tours, he's filming specials. Like, that guy is rich because he worked he does the UFC every fucking weekend. He shows up there to do that. Some guys walk around, they just do commentating. That's their job. They're a commentator.
Yeah.
That's a fucking side hobby for this guy.
Yeah.
So if anybody, I don't know if anybody is, but if anybody's saying you don't deserve it, you're a fucking crackhead. He deserves it,
Oh,
dude.
for sure.
He paved the way for
I don't know
for
anyone who says that he
podcasts.
doesn't deserve it.
No, I don't think anybody does. Yeah, I think like nobody's ever
Yeah,
been
I've
more
never met
unanimous.
anyone.
Yeah, it's never been more unanimous. Like, baseball players don't get this kind of unanimous voting on their $100 million contract. But that's cool, right? Like, he deserves that. That's a baseball player contract he just got, dude. That's a real deal contract.
Yeah.
Like, that's no fucking joke. There's not a lot of guys in comedy.
A lot of
that
people
do
were
that.
speculating that the reason why he was doing it was because, and this was before people knew about all the money, the reason why he was going to Spotify to
Hates
sign an
YouTube.
exclusive deal is because of the, what was it? They were saying that Joe was mad that YouTube was editing his videos and taking down some of his videos.
They do it to us all the time. You guys, they don't watch
There's
it,
so
guys.
many rules.
But all the fans know
Yeah.
that we have videos sometimes that are chopped and they don't have the video in it, and that's why we got copyright claimed for playing fucking bloopers on Parks and Rec with fucking 70-something subscribers or whatever the fuck we got 60-something subscribers. Like, what are you copyright claiming? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what if one day we get fans and they watch that video, you're gonna take all of our money over a fucking 10-second clip, or I gotta remove it and ruin my video? And that's like the debate I go through. I'm like, we don't make any money yet, so do I want to ruin the video for them, like what, they could one day take my money, they probably never will, probably never make money on the video. So I'd rather the video just be what it is. So I don't cut my videos when they copyright claim them. I just leave them as is. That's my new thing. And sometimes so they fully block it if we say something like too hardcore.
Yeah.
Like where they just like, you can't put this video up. And then I have to remove that, cut that part,
That Asian video, we got blocked completely.
Which one?
Remember?
Which one was that one?
Like,
Oh, not the robot.
The Korean video,
VR,
they claimed the whole entire video. I had to cut that whole entire section out and re-upload it. Yeah, that one YouTube wouldn't even do it for you because a lot of times YouTube will edit it for you. You say accept the edit and they'll do it. They'll cut the 2 minutes out. But I stopped doing it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Korea. But Korea. I get it. What I was gonna say is I fully get it. Like YouTube used to be where you could come for free and do whatever you want. Now that he's signed with Spotify, but he kept all his IP, which is like his intellectual property, he can say and do whatever he wants, and no one's gonna take him down or do anything like that. You know. Now we just gotta hope that Spotify don't get freaky and not like some of the things that he does or some of the guests that he has, because Joe Rogan can't be on Fox News, and Joe Rogan also can't be on CNN, and that's what makes Joe Rogan's show special. That's why it's the biggest podcast in the world, because he doesn't care about an echo chamber, and he doesn't care to sit there in front of somebody he disagrees with and tell them that, and put them on their heels, and if you can answer and you're smart enough, he'll say good answer, and if you can't, then you're going to look stupid on his show. And he'll take Ted Nugent, who shoots everybody, and he'll take Andrew Yang, who wants to take every gun out of every American's hand. So it doesn't matter to him who you are. If you're an interesting person and he's interested in you, he'll bring you on. So we just gotta hope Spotify continues, like down that path.
Yeah.
Because YouTube's becoming fucking just as bad as every other network. They block everything.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God. There was another news that Trump wants to shut down Twitter, which was crazy.
I was just thinking about
can't
that.
even get to. Oh my God. There's so much stuff going on. Like Trump's trying to shut down Twitter. My only thing I saw on it.
I just got a notification.
What do you got?
Go ahead.
It's unclear what Trump's Section 230 executive order will do beyond bully social companies. But Twitter slapped Trump on the wrist. Law professor Eric Goldman told BuzzFeed News to blow up the entire internet.
It just doesn't make any sense. All right, so I think I wrote the quote in the tweet. Twitter is violating freedom of speech. I got an idea. Violate freedom of speech and remove Twitter. Like, are you fucking stupid? You don't put socialist policy in to stop socialist fucking problems. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, Trump is right. He should be able to say whatever the fuck he wants. Like, my pops post a lot on Facebook, and he's a heavy conservative. They block him once a week. I've never seen any Democratic liberal friend of mine get blocked, no matter what they say. Ever. Never. Only people I know that get blocked are conservatives and hookers. That's it. And those are the only people that get removed from Facebook, and that's the God's honest truth. So is there some... That's the truth. It's funny, but it's the truth. And is there something wrong with that? A little bit, but it's a private company. I mean, it's a public company, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, it's owned by board members, and they can kind of do what they want with their company. You know, they can block what they want, and so you can't limit that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's
Pick a new platform, Trump. Everybody will move. We'll all move to follow you, Trumpy. Don't worry.
What I think was problematic was just that they were fact-checking the information that he was tweeting out. He did I think within a 24-hour period, he did like 30 tweets. And it wasn't all 30 tweets. It was one or two very specific things that he said that were an issue. And they had labeled to fact-check them because whatever he said maybe wasn't the truth. And it just kind of like, it shouldn't, I don't think he should be blocked for it, but I do think that like there should be some sort of a regulation if you're just spewing out lies. I don't care who you are.
Well, that brings up a real because then we have to murder Rachel Maddow and Don Lemon, right?
Why?
Because you need to be prosecuted for spewing out lies.
We're not prosecuted, right? Not prosecuted, but just a thing that says, this.
Oh, that's what they want to do? Oh, I thought they wanted to block him.
No, they didn't take down his tweet. They just put a link at the bottom of his tweet saying, this is some information about what he's talking about.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
But they have to do it to everyone.
They have to do it to everyone.
And that's his point. But you don't shut something down. Like, it's a socialist idea to be a socialist idea. Like, I get his point. I love that, dude. I think they need to start doing more of that, because then more people would be able to make honest opinions. Like, but if we're gonna prosecute the liars, then Don Lemon has to be hung at the stake. Or whatever they say. Hang on that lying piece of shit.
I mean, personally, I told you guys, I get so mad at seeing like people posting this dumb shit on Facebook, and I told you guys over and over, weeks over and over about my friend from high school, not even my friend, but this kid from high school just posting dumb shit. If I had the power to put a link on it and say fact check,
Yes.
this is not right, this is the truth, I would fucking do it.
I think that's fully acceptable. That's so American. That's as American as America gets. You take the tweet down, that's Russia. You let people comment and write, this is fucking wrong, here's the facts. That's America, baby.
That's America.
I love that. So moving on, I think that was great that we ended that.
Let's
What do
move
we
on. We got too far, not far enough. We're going to space. So we know that. He's using his mic as a spaceship.
Yeah, if you're just listening at home, I just launched my microphone.
Elon Musk and SpaceX is sending sending people to space for the first time in the U.S. Like 10 years.
Since the moon or since the...
No. It's been like 10 years from the U.S. The way we've been sending our astronauts to the International Space Station is through Russia. And we've been paying them $80 million per seat on their spaceships. And now we could do it for a fraction of the price in the U.S. if this launch goes well. If it goes well, SpaceX stock, Elon Musk stock is going to skyrocket. If it goes horrible, sell your shit.
Do you believe
Already
in Elon? Should we
stop.
just buy now? And just think it's going to work? He's getting...
Bro, I mean, SpaceX is going to get all of the money from NASA if this shit works.
I didn't know that thing about Russia. But this is also to test if they're going to send the human beings up, right? Like randoms. Like non-NASA, right? Like he's starting...
I mean, I'm sure that's what...
This is all part of that too,
be,
yeah, okay. But this is to pull away from having to use them to get to our space station, basically? Like
Well, it's an
use Russia?
international space station, right? So it's a world thing, but everybody has to use either Russia or China.
They just have like
to
a
get
setup
there.
with a rocket that works or whatever? Like
they spend like all this money to get up there versus SpaceX has a very efficient rocket to not only get
come back
up, but once their capsule detaches and goes to the space station, that rocket is reusable. So it can come back down, it lands, and they reuse it. Versus
which he did
our rocket
successly once,
just
right?
exploded.
Yeah, they used to
once
explode. But he did have the one that came down, right?
Yeah, they've been doing that already.
Yeah.
They've been doing that.
Just
They've been
unmanned.
sending unmanned, and it's already been cargo for the International Space
So
Station.
in theory, a
So
person
this has
should be
already
no
been
different.
going on. In theory, yeah.
Should be no
It's
different.
just a lot. It's just a human being.
It's just crazy that there's humans. I mean, I'll tell you guys a crazy story. Hashtag one up. No, well, this story's not about that.
Hashtag one up.
When I was in fifth grade, my earth science, sixth grade, my earth science teacher was in the final. I think they sent 12 teachers in the Apollo 13, the one that exploded, whatever Apollo that was. When they put the teachers in, like the science teachers won a contest. He was like out of 12 people, he was in like the top 20 of the contest. And he was almost crying telling us the story. Like he sent in, it took round after round after round, and he thought he was going to space. Like, he was so close, and he got that last letter, like, we regret to inform you in the final cut process, you didn't make it. He said, I was so upset, I was crushed. I watched it on TV, and the fucking thing explodes.
Fuck.
Could you imagine that? Fucking crazy, right? And so this guy was like
Challenger?
the Challenger, maybe that's what it was. Whatever the one they sent the teachers up. Well, obviously there was astronauts in there, but they sent like 10 teachers at one kind of 18. It was probably a smaller number than I'm saying. So I don't know what round, but no, it was a few. It was a couple, like top 5 maybe made it, and he was like top 15, top 20. Like he was a round away from getting on that plane.
Let's fact check you before Twitter does.
But yeah, dude, I want to be fact checked. I just said I don't fucking know. The point is that the guy almost died. That's the point. It doesn't matter how many people they sent. Jesus.
Even if it was just one.
Even if it was just one, and he was 2, or he was 30, it doesn't matter. He was very close to exploding, and that's the point of the story.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right? But I love this. I think it's, obviously, we put it in this topic because we needed to put shit in other topics. But I think it's not far enough. We got to keep pushing to space.
Keep pushing it, send more people. How about Mars?
I don't want to live on any of these
What's
places.
the Challenger?
I'm too
What's the
young.
Challenger?
I mean, I'm
I
too
think
old.
2 teachers.
2 teachers.
Yeah.
So he was maybe in like the top, the last 10?
Teacher in Space Project.
Yeah, that's what it
One
was.
teacher, Krista McAuliffe.
Okay, then he was in like the final 5. So whatever it was, he was in like the final grouping. They picked 1, they picked 2, whatever the fuck it was. Just the news can't even get right because you just found 2 and then 1. So who knows? But it's one teacher maybe that they said. But it was a contest and he was very close. Yeah, and in tears when he's telling the story because everybody saw it on TV. The point of me telling that story is I really don't want to see that. That's what I don't want to see.
I was biting my nails, and it was still like 2 hours into the space launch.
I mean, I was bored of the broadcast.
I was nervous.
NASA people are not very interesting, and their interviews suck. Unfortunately, they're so boring, and I just can't stand it.
Scientists, bro.
I tried, but scientists are real boring, and I love the music. There was like they were gearing up for the Olympic trials, and it's like and everybody's like gearing up like it's a fucking track event.
It's gonna happen on Saturday now.
It could literally go on the plane.
Yeah.
But I think definitely buy SpaceX then. If they already sent the cargo ships, there's no way this thing's going down. Elon doesn't come around like that. When Elon says I'm throwing the fucking car in space, it goes in space.
It goes in space, yeah.
He doesn't just say I'm gonna do this and then it explodes. That shit don't happen. So I believe in Elon. I believe in space. And I believe I will never go.
I believe in space.
My last part of that opinion is I am way too old to go to space. Too guinea piggish for me, so I will never move.
I'll probably do it when I'm older.
I would not. I'll
When
stay
I'm
right
older,
here. Once
I'm not gonna be the first one.
Low population, baby. There's beautiful stuff in this world that I've never seen, and I know I'll never see it. So.
I wouldn't go to another planet.
No, I wouldn't go to another.
But I'd go into space.
Oh, I'd pay the fucking $50,000 to get shot up there for a couple of minutes. You know what? I'll do that. I'm not moving though. Like if they colonize Mars, there's no way in my lifetime I would ever come to the conclusion that I'll do that. You know, I'm not going. Fuck that.
50 years.
Do you think they'll colonize Mars in our lifetime?
Maybe, but I'm gonna be way too old to want to do that. I'm gonna be
don't think so.
I'm gonna be like my grandpa. I'm gonna die next year anyways. What the fuck is the point of all that? I'm staying here. That's gonna be me at fucking 80. I'm not going at 80 to die at 81 on Mars. You're fucking nuts. They got dirt down here. The rest of my family's in the dirt here. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
So I just think that we're a little too old. But I think it's coming. Yeah, I think it's coming. Why can't they wrap a fucking glass ball around Mars and fucking pop out? Why can't they? Who says you can't? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, is there like somebody runs space? What do you think? You own space? No, fucking NASA does. That's a trailer park. That's a trailer park boys joke. So funny, trailer park boys. Have you ever seen it? So moving on. Memes. We got some memes.
No, we don't have any memes.
You lied to me.
I had 2, and then I couldn't find any other good ones, and then I lost my confidence in memes.
Listen, there was some heavy news this week. No Corona news, and Beanie's got something I think that's supposed to calm us down. So take it away, Beanie. This edit's gonna be easy. That's gonna come.
That's it. It's over. Okay, I love it. Okay,
That's it. It's over.
Really, a couple of days ago, I signed up for. Wait, what?
Go ahead.
Sorry. I signed up for this like positivity or whatever thing through Jay Shetty, who is like, for anyone that doesn't know, he's a motivational speaker. He does a lot of like YouTube videos, Facebook videos, social media videos, seminars. He was a Buddhist monk. He lived as a Buddhist monk for a number of years, and now he's kind of really just, I think, gotten his claim to fame through being able to talk about like meditation and that lifestyle of being humble and positive and whatnot. So as you guys know, because you poor guys saw me in the middle of my breakdown of anxiety last week, which, side note, I just have to say I love and appreciate you both. It's hilarious for any female.
I just asked her if anyone died, and she said no. I was like, Alexia, just call her, just one of us. And then I was like, did anybody die? And she said no. I said, all right, let's do the show. Whatever it is. No problem, Beanie, of course. But you've been better since?
And then also, side note, last week when we did have memes and you had the meme of something about someone crying.
Yeah, you want some water?
I also lost my shit to that because it's perfect.
Yeah, that's me. Do you want milk? Milk, water?
But anyway.
Some water.
So as far as meditation and dealing with anxiety and stress, Jay Shetty put out a video that I really liked, and I think that it's something that if you at home or if you during your day ever feel stressed or anxious, it's something that we could do. Take 30 seconds, take a minute, take 5 minutes, but really, really simple technique. So everyone that's listening, I want you to do this too, but you too, specifically, I want you to take your left hand and put it on your stomach.
Your stomach.
Left
Your right
stomach?
hand, put it on your chest.
Is this where they both have to spin at the same time?
Your stomach.
Oh, what? How do you do that? Am I doing it?
Alexia's gone to a lot of parties.
Do the other
I
hand.
feel.
Dude, you gotta get locked in to do that. That's pretty cool. You know what makes it easier if you use the t-shirt to spin? It's a little harder to do it this way if you're like off your body. I can do it. Alright, that's
Go ahead, okay.
Sorry. We're fucking idiots and we can't even handle this. Left on the stomach, right on the
Left
chest.
hand on stomach, right hand on chest.
Okay.
And then you're gonna breathe in on my count of 4, and you're gonna breathe out for more than 4. So you can say that's 5, but you could also have 6 counts of breath in your lungs. I don't know. But ready? We're gonna count down. So breathe in now
Breathe in.
for counts of 4. So
Okay.
breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for more than 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Nice and calm.
I
You're
like it.
supposed to be thinking about how, like, breathing in, you're bringing in this good energy, and you're exhaling the bad energy. So, super easy. I feel good. I liked it.
I feel calm already.
I do. I
Something
think
else
that
you
worked.
do if you ever feel stressed.
Did you read any of the logic behind, like...
What'd you say?
Oh, so what is, I don't know if you read like any of the logic behind like, I mean, it's basically a meditation, but the hand in the stomach, because what I noticed is when I meditated, or at least tried to, I have a hard time when they're like, focus on your breathing, focus on your breathing. I think the hands make it so hard to not focus on the breath, because it's like they're moving. Like, does that have something to do with why he uses, I mean, it's just a basic breathing technique, but
It might.
it actually worked really well.
He didn't say anything in that video, but there's a lot of videos of him talking about this specific thing, and he's gone on a lot of shows doing this specific thing. So I think it's just like foolproof.
Yeah, it almost makes it so it's like
I think,
impossible
like,
to
just,
not
like,
concentrate on your breath and the breathing. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. Hopefully everybody did it at home. I feel like stress.
I feel stress-free.
That fucking thing actually worked, dude. That's pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
bet you that has a lot to do with it, because a lot of meditation is just if you can focus on your breath long enough, you can just get out of your brain. And then people who are like really good at it just remove themselves from their brain. And it's hard to do because your brain's, my brain just is impossible to do almost. But you like try to focus on the breath, but you're just focused on the air kind of like coming in. But when you're holding that, like, you feel like the whole thing. So I thought it was pretty cool. What's the guy's name, just in case people want to follow him?
Jay Shetty. So Jay is his first name. Shetty is his last name.
Shetty. Boom. I mean, you're really good at saying it. You have a nice
Yeah, you
voice.
should probably have like your own channel where you just do
Thank
that.
I mean, you should have an ASMR channel.
You should have
you.
a
Very
ASMR.
common voice.
Yeah.
I have ASMR. Like, my head really tingles, and sometimes you do it. It depends like what you're talking about. If it's passionate enough, it works. Alexio's voice doesn't do it for me at
No,
all.
my voice
But yours does.
probably makes people want to turn it off.
No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Mine definitely does, but too bad you're just stuck with it. Is that what we got for this week?
That's all, folks.
We had a stressful episode. We de-stressed at the end.
There you
I
go,
thought it was a
That
great
worked
episode.
out.
I thought we really put together a string of a couple of good ones, and I hope everybody watches the last one because I really liked. I thought like that episode was a great episode. I was so upset we had no video, so we have video today, and we're gonna try.
Hopefully.
I've been just hopefully. Let me just tell you right now before we get off the audio.
He's joking right now.
An hour and 12 of recorded video. We have it. We have done it. And there's no cutoffs. I deleted everything. So I've been getting really bad at it. The only people I apologize to is these two, which makes no sense because they don't watch the show anyway. So now I'm going to apologize to you guys. I know that this thing has been coming out on random fucking days. So if you are out there and you do give a fuck and some days you think like, what the fuck are these idiots doing? It's me. I'm the only idiot, and I'm the only one doing anything. So I'm gonna try and get this one out by Monday because I feel like it's ridiculous to have listened. We filmed this on a Thursday, so you just got one Wednesday morning. So why get one Friday? So we're gonna do this one Monday, and we're going right back. Maheen is Oh, I thought she was just frozen with a
She
smile.
was
She's
frozen
really
for like a minute.
Yeah, with a big
It
smile.
was.
Super big
But you got a big smile.
It was. I saw.
And
Again.
we're gonna try and get the next week's out on Friday. So there'll be two next week, Monday and Friday, and we're gonna go back to film Thursday, pump it out by Friday, just so everything's live, everything's fresh, everything's crisp. Other than that, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I hope that if you're in Minneapolis, you weren't in Target, and if you were, I hope you got something good out of it. If you're running for president, try not to make fun of black people. You might have a good chance of winning. And if you're flying to space, good luck. We'll see you on Saturday, and for everybody else, we'll see you next week, right?
Love you.
Peace.
Bye.